Welcome to Legal Issues and Graduate Family Housing Residence, a joint collaborative effort between UF Housing and Residence Education and the University of Florida Student Legal Services. We wish to thank today Jason Fraser Nash for making the collaboration this year possible, and we look forward to collaborating in the future, usually the third Tuesday of every month, with updated legal information for our wonderful graduate family housing residents. We also wish to thank John Adcock, our Student Legal Services Director, for greenlighting this collaborative project, Ryan Gavin at Student Government, for promotion and helping to prepare these PowerPoint presentations. And of course, Dave Frank, our wonderful inspirational student who's been working with us on many PowerPoints, as well as helping prepare the information presented. We wish to extend our wishes for everyone's safety during the COVID-19 epidemic, and we encourage our students to abide by the quarantine and public safety laws during the period, including social distancing and PPEs. Please contact your student legal service attorneys for specific help on any COVID-19 related issues, as well as any other legal matters. And we want you to know that there are almost always legal options available to address any issues that arise during this time period. Remember that the information contained in this presentation is not intended to constitute legal advice and is certainly not a substitute for consulting one of the Student Legal Services attorneys. We also want to say that the information contained herein are those of Student Legal Services only, not necessarily those of the university, the UF Board of Trustees, the Board of Governors for the state university system, or the state of Florida. And again, remember that every legal situation is unique. We encourage that you speak with a student legal service attorney about your specific situation, and I'll provide the links later on to make an appointment. Let's talk a little bit about UF Student Legal Services. We've been providing free and confidential legal help since 1977, and we're staffed by 4 attorneys with over 105 years of experience. We're all on a first name basis. John is our director, Alicia, our associate director, Lane, myself, I'm an attorney with the university. And just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I went to the University of Florida Law School, entered in fall of 1994 and graduated in 1996. And I've been a practicing attorney ever since. And I'm also joined by my colleague, Ray Cawthon, an attorney graduated from the University of Florida as well, and Joy Thomas, my administrative assistant. Between the 4 attorneys, 105 years of experience, and Joy brings over 8 years of legal experience as well. We want to encourage our students to get involved with our office. You can be an employee here in the reception area and get such valuable skills as answering the phones, checking with the clients, copying and filing, which, as anybody knows, is the backbone of a successful law firm. One of my favorite programs is the Professional Shadow Mentorship Program. If you are a student that's considering law school, considering a career in law, you can certainly meet with one of our attorneys and assistants with law school planning. We'll talk about a career in the legal profession. And most importantly, you get to observe client consultations. These are real world cases as they come in our office. There are also internships available and ambassador positions. Assistance in court representation. We know the last place our students want to be is court, so generally we'll do our very best to keep you out of court. However, we can go to court on these types of cases if needed. Landlord-tenant cases, which are apartment and housing rentals in Gainesville, name changes, removing criminal records for background checks, divorces, and step-parent adoptions. We can also provide advice and assistance in these areas, everything ranging from a simple traffic citation, criminal charges, insurance, property damage, which are usually involving moving objects at the university, automobiles and bicycles, consumer matters such as defective merchandise, warranties, financing, contracts, credit cards, and importantly, powers of attorney, living wills, and healthcare surrogates. I can't stress enough how important these documents are to have, especially during these this particular time with COVID-19. What services do we not provide? Immigration and visas, income tax, patent, trademark, copyright, personal injury, real estate buying or selling homes. But you can certainly contact us, and we do have referral services. Immigration in particular is a matter that we're not allowed to assist on. However, we can refer you to a professional who may be able to provide assistance. And the attorneys on our recommendation list include one that even does a $50 30-minute consultation, which, as anybody knows, is a very reasonable price for an attorney in Gainesville. We also want you to be aware of the consequences, particularly if you're an international student, of criminal charges. You must come see us if you pick up one of these charges. Remember, it's confidential, it's free, we're not reporting you to anybody, but even if you get a simple traffic ticket, you need to contact us to determine if it's civil or criminal. Limitations. Student legal services also cannot provide assistance with the following matters. And those are issues involving other UF students. I think everybody knows that all 50,000 students plus are our bosses at the University of Florida. We can't pick and choose and say this student is right over this student. Claims against the University of Florida, the state of Florida, or any of its agencies, and disputes under $100 or over $15,000. And we want to encourage you, if you do need assistance with on-campus housing, please contact your good friends at UF Housing and Residence Education via their website or the phone 392-2161. Rather than a one-size-fits-all approach, COVID-19, we've discovered, had affected students very differently. And if you do have off-campus leasing issues, we have to look at them on a case-by-case basis with issues surrounding safety, available leasing options, as well as your financial circumstances. And also remember to contact and look at your very helpful site at offcampuslife.ufl.edu. Our good friends there have been educating and assisting UF off-campus students about renting and leasing opportunities since 2004. Big question that we get is, why should I pay my rent or bills? Well, first of all, it's a legal obligation. We try to encourage our students to follow the law. Secondly, you have to know the consequences. If you don't pay, the company, bank, or auto lender can sue you in court and anybody else that's co-signed with you, or turn the matter over to a debt collection agency. So it's very important that you do follow the advice. And if you can't pay, make sure that you're in contact with your creditors or landlord for payment relief. We have discovered that a lot are very understanding during the COVID-19 period. What are the consequences? If you don't pay, usually there is additional interest and collection court fees, and we've seen as high as 18%, which is the highest interest allowed in Florida. It can also have a negative effect on your credit report and score, and difficulty in getting an apartment, buying a car, getting a credit card, or even opening up a bank account. And very recently, we've discovered that employers are also running credit checks, not just on criminal backgrounds, but also on credit backgrounds. And the important thing to remember is if you're going to be working in business or finance or what we call high finance, stockbroking, you're going to be dealing with tens of millions of dollars of other people's money. They want to make sure that you have a clean credit report. Social distancing. Please practice social distancing, and we want to make sure with the updates that it's a minimum, remember, a minimum of 6 feet or 2 meters, because the University of Florida is firmly committed to keeping our students healthy. You can also go to this site, and again, this will be made available to all attendees today, this particular PowerPoint presentation at the end. But this will give you the updates on the COVID-19 situation. And remember to wear a mask if you visit a store or other business. Where can you go for reliable information and updates? Well, of course, you can go to the ufl.edu health update website. Also, I've included links to the CDC, Florida Health Department, and coronavirus for best practices. If you live in graduate and family housing, and you're asked by your doctor to self-quarantine, you can remain in your apartment, but you should contact the Dean of Students office immediately. As a general practice, it's recommended to sleep alone in a separate room. Try to have your own bathroom. And if you must share one, please clean it after every use using disinfectants that contain at least 60 to 90% alcohol or bleach-based cleaning wipes. And as a reminder, do not flush the cleaning wipes in the toilet. For financial aid, if you cannot pay expenses, including rent or for food or tuition, there may be help available at the Atigator program at sfa.ufl.edu/Atigator, as well as the Student Financial Affairs Office. And you can potentially submit a revision petition if you've had a decline in your own or family income. Let's talk about your rights, and this includes international students. You always have the right to remain silent if you're being questioned by law enforcement. You have the right to refuse to consent to a search, and if you're not under arrest, you have the right to calmly leave. You have the right to a lawyer if you're detained or arrested, and regardless of your immigration or citizenship status, remember that you have constitutional rights in the United States. Once you step foot in the United States, you have constitutional rights. First of all, let's talk about if you're stopped for questioning by law enforcement or police. Number one rule, please stay calm, don't run. Number two, don't resist, even pulling your arm away or obstructing the police, even if you're innocent or police are violating your rights. And please keep your hands where the police can see them. The reason being is that you can't resist while they're doing an active investigation. If you later on, you can contest the investigation or the stop, but not at the time. And that's why number three, always ask if you're free to leave. And if you're under arrest, you have the right to know why you're under arrest. If you're stopped in your car, please stop in a safe place as quickly as possible. Turn off your car, turn on the internal light, open the window, and place your hands on the wheel. And police usually ask for three things: your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. If they ask to search your car, you can usually refuse to consent to the search, but if they have probable cause to believe your car has evidence of a crime, then it can be searched without your consent. And this can be as simple as an open container of alcohol being noticeable from the window. Both drivers and passengers have the right to remain silent. If you're a passenger, you can always ask if you're free to leave. If the officer says yes, feel free to sit silently or calmly leave. What happens if the police come to your home or apartment? Typically, you do not have to let them in unless they have a warrant, and you can ask the officer to slip the warrant under the door or hold it up to the window so that you can inspect it. Your safety is always paramount, so we want to make sure that it's a legitimate warrant and that they are certainly police officers. You can ask to see their badges as well. An arrest warrant allows the police to enter the home of the person if they believe that particular person on the warrant is inside. The other type of warrant that we frequently encounter is called a search warrant, which allows the police to enter the address listed, but the officers can only search the areas and for the items listed. If you are arrested, do not resist arrest, even if you believe it's unfair. You have to give your identification, and then you can say you wish to remain silent and ask for a lawyer immediately. Remember that signing a notice to appear in court or for a ticket or citation is not an admission of guilt, but if you're asked to do so and you refuse to do so, that can lead to your arrest. You also have the right to make a local phone call if you're arrested, and if you're calling a lawyer, the police cannot listen in. And we always recommend to prepare yourself and your family just in case you are arrested or detained, and make emergency plans if you have children or take medication, which is just good best practices in general. Health insurance and medical billing. What are we seeing during the COVID-19 period? We want to encourage you to always keep your health insurance card on your person at all times, because you never know when something may happen. Take a look at your coverage, make sure that you have adequate health insurance, and know your deductibles. That is your out-of-pocket expense that you have to pay if you end up getting medical services. The copay for a healthy visit with my insurance is typically only $20, and insurance pays the rest because of the contract between the doctor and healthcare provider and my insurance company. Also, know your maximum out-of-pocket for the year. A lot of insurance companies have a $2,500, $5,000, or even up to $10,000 limit. Auto insurance. If you have a car right now, make sure that you check if there are lower rates. Many of the auto insurance companies are providing at least a 15% discount. Because of COVID-19, we have less driving. And remember, if you have a car in Florida, you must have auto insurance and keep a copy of the insurance card in the car. Minimum insurance in Florida is $10,000 for personal injury protection and $10,000 for property damage liability. We, of course, recommend that you get higher limits. And if you have a newer car, please make sure that you get comprehensive and collision insurance. We have students that sometimes pay tens of thousands of dollars for a car. If they get an accident and it's their fault, or if the other driver doesn't have insurance, it can be a real problem if you don't have comprehensive and collision insurance. If you have any questions about taxes or stimulus checks, here's a couple of websites to go to. First of all, there's the IRS stimulus check website that you can go to look at the status if you're waiting on a check. Secondly, there is free tax help available. There's a group of volunteers that have partnered with the Internal Revenue Service. And if you go to this link, there's a number in town, I believe it's 5 or 6 different sites that do offer help. During COVID-19, be aware that there is no in-person help at this time because of safety reasons. But just to say, the information and help is free, and they're a very dedicated group of individuals. Healthcare forms. Student Legal Services encourages everybody to please contact us to execute these particular forms. And we follow the UF Shands and healthcare language because most of our students live in proximity to Shands healthcare. And if anything was to happen, you can use these documents, including a durable power of attorney, which allows someone to take action on your financial matters if something happens to you, a HIPAA form, so that particular individual, including a partner, can get medical information about you, a living will, which is what happens to your body if you have a major cardiovascular event, a healthcare surrogate, who would you like to have making those important decisions for you, as well as an organ donation form. We also encourage you to contact, if you're an international student, in particular, our wonderful group at the International Center at ufl.edu. The important reason is because they have UFIC communications on coronavirus updates at this site, as well as important forms and resources that are available. I have students that contact me all the time that are looking for a particular immigration form. Very likely it's on here, and the International Center has already done a wonderful job of collecting these updated forms for you. USCIS, they were temporarily suspending in-person services as of March the 18th. However, as of June 4th, they have reopened the offices, unless public closures are to be extended in the future. You have to remember that every government office is operating depending on the COVID numbers and will act accordingly to either close in-person services if the numbers were to go up, or to adjust if they go down. I've included links to the online filing website, as well as emergency appointments, the contact center for that. We've gotten a lot of questions about embassies in foreign countries. The difficulty is it is very country specific. We've had information that the embassies are opening up to certain in-person services in some countries, not in other countries. So please check with your own country to see the embassy status on that. Restricted travel, of course, Student Legal Services has received the information that there are foreign nationals that are not able to return to the United States, including those from China, Iran, the European affected area, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Brazil. And several presidential proclamations have established restrictions on the entry of these travelers in the United States in an effort to help slow the spread of COVID-19. International travel. If you're planning to travel internationally, a question was asked, will COVID-19 affect my plans? Well, we want you to go to the UF Health website. Almost certainly it will at this particular time. So please visit two sites, the UFL website, as well as the Department of State website for guidance on international travel. You have to remember that it changes from day to day, and the travel advisors are being constantly updated. If you're an international employee at the University of Florida, we have to tell you that you're reminded that international travel has to be pre-approved by a dean or a vice president and must be registered on the International Center International Travel Registration website located at this site. And further reminded that if you do travel, your movement may be severely restricted, including the countries that I just mentioned, and or re-entry into the United States or into Florida from other areas. For all of our students, we always include this slide. Beware of COVID-19 scams during this time period, including fake texts, emails, and calls. This is an actual fake text. Looks just like one of the real texts, actually. So make sure that if you do get one of these texts that you double check either online or with an official notice otherwise. Beware of scam medicine PPEs on internet sites. I think we've all heard about those, as well as fake job offers that can come from what purports to be a professor's email or student's email. Not infrequently, they can become hacked, and then you see all these job offers going out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us, or you can contact the University of Police Department. Be aware of fake bank checks. This is an actual fake check. It looks exactly like a Bank of America, real cashier's check. Not picking on any particular banks here. This is just one that we've encountered. Also, be aware of fake IRS, Department of Homeland Security calls asking for money. They do not call you on the phone demanding money and threatening to deport you. There's a much more official notice process than that. Credit checks. We encourage everyone to please run credit checks, and they are now available free weekly during COVID-19. Make sure that you go to annualcreditreport.com. This is the Federal Trade Commission approved site, and you have to enter very personal information on it. That's why we want to make sure that we get you to the correct site. Be careful of any imposter sites. And helpful links. Here's a complete list of all these links, and I'm also going to give you a link to this PowerPoint as well at the end. And remember that we're located at 3500 Reich Union. At this time, my director did want me to emphasize that we're not open for in-person services. However, we are open 8 to 5 every single day. More recently, I'm sure that Graduate Family Housing International Centers felt the same way. It's felt more like 24/7 recently with all the matters that have come in during COVID-19. But we want you to know that we are here for you. You can contact us at 392-5297 or our website, again, Student Legal Services with an S, all one word, .ufl.edu, or feel free to email me at Student Legal Services, it's SLS at ufsa.ufl.edu. And at the end, I know I promised everyone a Graduate Family Housing presentation link. If you take this picture, type it in, you can go directly to the website. There's a PDF available with clickable links to everything that we talked about. And now I'm going to stop recording and take any questions at this time. Thanks again for everyone for attending.